Hey folks, Logan Wells here with Dream Guitars, and I have a piece of fingerstyle guitar history in the shop today. This is Ervin Somogyi's #1 steel string guitar, and that's pretty dang incredible. We've had a ton of Ervin's guitars over the years, of course, both early and late builds, and it's really cool to see sort of like the origin point, the guitar from which all of those instruments come. So this is when he started to do the steel string thing, and this is where it all comes from, frankly. So this is really cool. So up until this point, he'd only been doing nylon string classical guitars, and this was his foray into steel strings. And so the first time this guitar was built, back in 1974, give or take, was sort of like a classical guitar with some steel strings on it. And it was sold to the client then, and recently, Ervin actually had the opportunity to get it back from the original owner, who had played it a ton and put a lot of marks and stuff like that on it. And Ervin took it back and decided to turn this into a restoration project. So he gutted some things that weren't quite working, and rebuilt a lot of the instrument to be up to the standard of his instruments, the quality that he is capable of today, which is really cool. Check out the full listing for all the details about that. It's a pretty extensive process, so I won't go into all those details here, but suffice it to say, Ervin did a lot of work. So it's a really cool thing. So there's this juxtaposition of original old componentry, the very first jumbo steel string from Ervin, but also there's a bunch of modern Somogyi qualities here. Like the voice is very much reminiscent to me of what the Somogyi sound is these days. Huge, strong, enveloping, a bass that just kind of like knocks your teeth in a little bit. Deliciously sparkling trebles, optimal fingerstyle guitar, in a word, right? And so, I mean, of course, we all know Ervin from having created the modern fingerstyle guitar and having helped create this entire industry, frankly. I mean, the sheer number of builders who have been either directly or indirectly informed by his work is staggering to consider. I feel like he's probably impacted most folks' lives in some way, shape, or form. So it's really a treat and an honor to have this in the shop and to be able to offer this to you guys. So really cool stuff. Anyways, let's get into it a little bit. We'll talk about the details. So top is spruce, the back and sides are maple with some nice figuring to it. Mahogany neck, and again, like a classical guitar, 12 frets to the neck. Now the original sound hole was smaller, like a classical guitar, and so what he decided to do, part of the restoration work, was to widen the sound hole and replace the rosette with a new creature with sort of a light yellow motif, which also is noted here with the bridge, and that really works well with the color patterns that he has working elsewhere, especially that maple for the back and sides, which is really cool. The braces have been reworked, the whole shebang, so functionally it's been revoiced, if you will, which is something Ervin's very good at doing. The bridge has been replaced. This is a new bridge from Mr. Somogyi, but we do have the original as well, so which is really cool. You can kind of compare the OG to this guy, which is, yeah, it's really cool to see. So yeah, so jumbo size with that 12 fret neck. So again, a relatively big box, but also quite lightweight. And I actually, just on a player level, I love the weight balance of the neck to the body in this guitar. It doesn't do that big kind of dive thing. So that's really cool. Come over to the sides, like I said before, we have some nice looking figured maple, and ditto for the back. That's so good. So in addition to all the other work Ervin's done to this, he also stripped and refinished the whole creature. It just looks so good. And this time with French polish, of course. So that helps the lighter finish than lacquer, makes the guitar much more responsive. We have a couple of inlays that at the heel and the neck that have been updated from the originals back in 1974. And then we do have that nice center strip of maple, which I do like. Yeah. So one cool thing about this guitar is we have this headstock profile, which is, that's Ervin's headstock. He's kind of had that from day one, and it's really cool to see that, here as well. That looks so good, with, of course, some Charlotte tuners there. Yeah, I just love that so much. Oh, that's so cool. So this is the original neck as well. So the neck hasn't been modified to my knowledge. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. So anyways, just can't stress this enough. This is an incredibly historical piece. It's really a treat to have in the shop today. And if you want to learn more, give us a shout. Cheers.